everyone, it's the interview queen Alicia Atout here, and I am so excited to welcome you all back to my channel. And if you happen to be new, welcome. Today's video is a little bit different from what I usually do. We are here in Toronto, Canada in quarantine. This is about day 11 or 12 for me. I am going a little bit stir crazy. So one thing I figured would be really fun to do is a brand new top 3 Q&A. And on top of that, while I answer your top 3 questions, I'll do my makeup because I also have in about 2 hours a bunch of interviews. So before we get to the answers to your questions, this is gonna be so different and weird, guys, but I'm excited. Plus, I'm not a makeup artist, just FYI. I suck at makeup, so this is gonna be pretty fun to show you my little tips and tricks, my DIY tricks. But before we get to the actual bulk of the video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, so anytime I post a new video, bing, you will know. And now let's just have some fun. So, let's begin. I have a big mirror right here in front of me. This is my makeup mirror, and what I'm going to do is literally keep looking at you guys, keep looking down to do my face, and I guess you'll see the end product and what I end up looking like before I start filming a ton of awesome content for YouTube. So, first things first, where do we even start? So these are some of the products that I use. I'm really not sure whether to start with the makeup or the questions. I don't think my little brain can handle doing all these different things at once, so we'll just see how this turns out, guys. So the first question that actually came in, and I'm going to apply some green stick, this helps get rid of red on my face, but the first thing that people wanted to know about were my top 3 favorite pizza toppings. So when it comes to pizza toppings, I'm a sucker for pineapple on pizza. I know that this is a huge debate. Everybody's like, oh, you can't put pineapple on pizza, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is the biggest thing that people have an issue with for some reason when it comes to pizza. But I love pineapple on pizza. So that's number 1. The second thing for me is probably pepperoni. I love pepperoni on my pizza. And then the third topping, let me think of my third topping as I put on my little cheat stickers for my eyeshadow, because I do not know how to actually apply eyeshadow, so I use a tape sticker. But let me think. My third one would probably, ooh, you know what? I know that pizza already has like a shitload of tomatoes on it, but I love sun-dried tomatoes on my pizza. I feel like it adds that extra punch and saltiness, well, pending if they're brined or not. But like, yeah, sun-dried tomatoes are on pizza. All right, now we're going to head over to top 3 video games while I apply some eyeshadow. This is the most ridiculous video I've ever done. Okay, so when it comes to my top 3 video games, I have to say that I absolutely will forever love Galaga. I have a handheld version that I travel with. I have the video game version, and then I also actually have like an arcade version that's like a mini arcade game. It's the coolest thing ever. So anytime I kind of just want to decompress or come home from tapings or anything like that, I will play a ton of Galaga. The next game I have to name drop, because this has been one of my favorites since I was a child, is good old Mario Kart. I grew up playing this game on GameCube. That's still my favorite console to this day. There's just something so fun about it, whether you're playing online or just with like a bunch of friends or family members in the basement. It's so competitive and it's a classic, so I will never go wrong with Mario Kart. And then the third game that I just love playing so much, we're gonna put some blue on this eyelid. The third game that I love is WarioWare. Clearly, I love my Nintendo games, but WarioWare is just like one of those party games you play that gets so ridiculous. And again, like Mario Kart, it's stupidly competitive. So those are, I look insane. Those are my top 3 video games. Whew, okay, my eyeshadow is done as far as the actual lids go. Now I have to put on the eyeliner. Now, guys, I can't put on eyeliner for the life of me, so I actually bought these eyeliner stamps, so anytime you see me with like a nice cat eye, it's because of these stamps, so thank you whoever made these. Now, when it comes to my next top 3, we are going to dive right into things I'm doing during this quarantine. As you can clearly see, I am struggling to keep myself entertained, but one thing I've been doing a lot of is actually tons of interviewing. I hosted yesterday 6 full interviews, and they were all incredible. And the day before that, I hosted 4 full-length interviews, musicians, wrestlers. They were so much fun. So please stay tuned for those, because I had everyone from like Kylie Rae to the Black Dahlia murder to TJP. It was just like a crazy, crazy day, or a couple days. So yeah, as far as the quarantine goes though, a couple of the things that, ooh, see, don't they look so good? A couple of the things that I really have been enjoying doing would have to be the interviewing. I've been getting down in some video games, especially my handheld Galaga console. That thing always comes in handy for me. And then the last thing that I've been doing a decent amount of is just binge watching a lot of shows on Netflix. I'm sure that tons of you have watched it already, but there's that new series called Tiger King. It has to do with polygamy, murder, and big cats, and it's the most ridiculous show I've probably seen in a very, very long time. So I binge watched the hell out of that, and if you've yet to watch it, I advise you to, because that shit is knuckin' futz. So this is kind of the stage where people look really weird while they're applying their makeup, simply because you look so pale, but your eyes are like full glam, and I still have all the green crap on my face, so yeah, it's not the most pleasant sight. I always find I look way better without makeup than any at all, and this is the phase that I always dread, or feel more comfortable, at least I should say. So while I put some glitter on my eyes, we're gonna talk about my top 3 pet peeves. I saw this one come up and I was like, dude, this is like such a good question, because I have so many. One of my biggest pet peeves, oh, look at that glitter. One of my biggest pet peeves have to be slow walkers. I'll be walking somewhere and I'm just trying to like get groceries or go to the post office, and like, you know, I'm pretty quick when I walk, and the people are just like, I don't care if you walk slow, but don't be a slow walker, where like, you know, people are around you and you're just taking your sweet ass time. That drives me crazy. Another pet peeve of mine happens to be loud chewers. I remember once I was at the airport a couple months ago, and this dude was chowing down on a sandwich, and I could hear it from like 3-4 seats over. He was just so loud. Like, there's no need to chew your food that loud. So that's a huge pet peeve of mine. And then the last one have to be people that walk and just stop, like abruptly stop, and you're like, whoa. That's a massive pet peeve of mine. While I do my brows, I'm going to talk about my top 3 metal bands. All right. So, number 1 on the list goes to Steel Panther, simply because of how infectious their songwriting is. Number 2 goes to Steel Panther, simply because they are the best concert I've ever been to, like 5 times over. And then metal band number 3, you guys happen to know who it is? I'd have to say Steel Panther, because they are one of my favorite bands to interview. They might be my favorite, like, people in general to interview. Oh, they're just so funny. All right, the hair's been put back, so now it's time to apply foundation while I talk about my top 3 karaoke songs. You guys are gonna find this process to look freaking hilarious. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so top 3 karaoke songs have to be, number 1 is Wannabe by Spice Girls. Anytime that song comes on, it is such a banger, especially the middle A. So here's the story from A to Z. You want to get with me, you gotta listen carefully. I love that song. Number 2, a classic, Bohemian Rhapsody. That's a night where you know your voice is warmed up, you want to steal the show. That's the track you sing when you actually like got chops and you're one of those narcissistic people that makes karaoke about you. And then number 3, I really love Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson. She can just belt those notes. Like, she belts them. And that's something I've always loved doing, whether I'm good at it or not. I love, like, singing really high notes. And that song has a ton of them. So Since You've Been Gone is definitely, like, a great karaoke song. And when you see me, this will all be mixed together. Yo, this actually isn't looking that bad, guys. Okay. I just want to say thank you for tolerating me in this video, everybody. This has been so different. All right, so now we're gonna bring the face to life. This is the part where you go from it looking kind of dull to actually just evening it out and making it look better. So I'm gonna put some concealer under my eyes while I talk about my top 3 horror films. Now this is fun because I'm a complete baby when it comes to horror films. I hide under a blanket while I watch them. Like I'll actually, like literally, and I watch them like this. So or I'll use a blanket, a pillow, or a person. So horror movies are terrifying for me, but at the same time, like I can't not watch them. Like I love horror films. So my favorites, one of them has to be Jeepers Creepers, because that was the first real scary horror movie that I watched that just like freaked me out. It was funny, I watched it with my cousins, mom, dad, and my sister Maddie, and we're all watching in the basement. I don't know how old I was, maybe like 7 or 8, maybe. I might be aging myself there. Not like myself now, I'm 24 now, I don't mean I'm old, but I mean like I may have been only like 5 or 6, but let's say 7 or 8, guys. And we're watching it, and I was so scared that I didn't really watch half of it, and by the end of the movie, I hear the like credits rolling, I heard music, and I peek up, and then I take my blanket off, and I'm like I'm like drenched in sweat just from being like hidden under this blanket, terrified of this movie. So Jeepers Creepers is up there, because that movie scared the shit out of me. The second one has to be The Conjuring, just because that's such a classic. I'm gonna go in with some blush now. That's such a classic film. For newer films, that was just like, I feel like it was an instant classic where it was just immediately terrifying. You have to smile while doing the blush. It's a little beauty hack trick. So Jeepers Creepers, and then the third one's Sinister. That's a film that shocked my sister and I with like how eerie it is, and anything that has to do with children like terrifies me, especially if they sing. Like, you know when you're watching a horror film that's like it's like these eerie little children. I hate it. So those are the 3 scariest horror films I've encountered. Look at how far we've come. Oh my gosh, this actually is looking good. Dudes and dudettes, we are almost at the finish line. So now I'm just gonna add some highlighter to the tip of my nose. That always looks really good on Skype interviews. I don't know why, but it just does. And now what's left? I guess I just have to do some lipstick and mascara, and I'm done. Oh my gosh, this is nuts. All right, so now I'm gonna answer the very last top 3 questions. Boo. Okay, so last question happens to be about my favorite cuisines. You guys know I love food. I recently posted a Q&A where I talk about my love for food, some of my favorite foods that I recently ate while traveling. But when it comes to cuisines, I actually have a top 2 that I am just a total glutton for, put in front of me, and I will put it down. So those 2 cuisines happen to be Italian food and Asian food. Just thinking about it right now, it's like 10 in the morning and I'm so hungry. I love sushi. I love pad thai. Make me a stir fry, bam, I'm on it. Risotto, yeah. Gnocchi, yes please. Ravioli, any time of the day. And don't get me started on pizza. We already talked about pizza toppings. Oh, I could just go on for forever. Wait, did I? Yeah, I showed you guys my mascara. Look at those lashes. Okay. So, those are 2 cuisines I love. While I continue talking about my love for food, I'm just gonna put some powder on my face. This helps with shininess. If you guys go back and watch some of my first interviews, I'm talking like 16, 17-year-old Alicia. I was a shiny girl. I just always have had a trouble with like having oily skin, and I never wore makeup to those first interviews ever because it was a hobby and I wasn't really thinking, and I was young. And I hated makeup. So I never wore makeup to those interviews. And I look back and I'm just like, bing! I'm just like this beam of shining light. So I try to cover it up with this powder. It kind of helps. You see how there's like no shine aside from the light coming down, but it looks good. I don't know why I shared that with you. I think this quarantine's driving me mad. I'm just oversharing. But hey. I think that's something that's really cool about traveling is all the food I got to taste. That was the worst transition ever. But I love eating food. And I love all the food I get to try. And a little tidbit, or not tidbit, but fun fact, is every single new city that I go to, I will go to an Italian restaurant. I don't think I've broken that streak for the last maybe like 8 years of bookings and 8 years. I haven't been doing this long. 8 months of bookings and doing shows. I'll hit up either an Italian restaurant or I'll Uber Eats Italian food. And I've had some of the best ma and pa Italian food like delivered to the hotel, and it is just like, oh, I had this 4-cheese ravioli last time, guys. It was so good. Oh my gosh, I think I'm done. Okay, let me just finish this and then I'll show you the final look, and then we did it. We are officially at the end of the video and my makeup's done and I'm feeling great. I'm about to rock out some video interviews. I guess I'll just show you guys the makeup. Looks okay. Like, I actually didn't like mess up too bad. Okay, so I want to say, I know this was super different, super weird. Don't worry, this is not a beauty channel. It is not turning into a beauty channel. But I just thought, why not do something different? We all need some kind of entertainment, something just unique with everything going on. So I figured let's just mix all this crap together. This was really fun for me to post, fun for me to film. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your questions. Those were really cool. I really enjoyed your, top 3 want-to-knows. And I hope you enjoyed my top 3 answers. Like I always tell you guys, this is a trying time. Well, like I've been telling you lately, it's a really trying time. It's scary, so please just stay safe out there. And thank you so, so much for the support. Like I mentioned earlier, please like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and who knows what I'll be doing next during the quarantine. But please, there's gonna be a ton of video interviews coming out, so just stay tuned for those. Follow on socials, and I'll see you sooner than later. Thank you a ton, guys. Bye.